My goal at the start was to amplify voices that were different from my own. I wanted to use the opportunities given to me by the Mellon program to give a platform to people working with the neurodiversity movement, people who could talk about the subject of neurological difference better than I could. In the end, I landed on a podcast. Step 1 was to find people. I emailed scientists, activists, individual people, whole companies, anyone that I could find in the field. I must have sent 50 emails, and a lot of them never got answered. In the end, I was left with 5 incredible specialists. A child care consultant.
It's a money game. It's not a helping children game. It's turned into a money game. They're so pressurized by a system that's ABA, making them do things on command repetitively that may have no value, no intrinsic or personal value to them.
A media student.
I think it's like valuable and important because like a lot of the time these characters are more like fleshed out than the canonical autistic characters, and those are the ones that are explicitly said in the text that they are autistic.
An activist.
It's the concept of normal is a construction. And so I think for us, when we talk about being trauma informed, it's recognizing that people have been trying to shove us into a round hole, and it's created a lot of problems.
A writer.
Having a disability or being of color, the first thing you have to do is get people to believe that there is even a struggle at all. There were plenty of kids who were on the spectrum, plenty of kids who were ADHD, absolutely, no doubt in my mind. Not one of us was diagnosed, not one.
And a sociologist.
The medical model is one that treats it as a disease entity that either needs to be managed or cured. There's this idea that neurotypical ways of making sense of the world are the only valid ways of making sense of the world. And there are, in fact, other ways. They're not neurotypical, but they have their own intelligence and intelligibility.
Step 2 was to hear what they had to say. I conducted Zoom interviews with each of them, picking their brains about autism, disability, and neurodiversity, with questions specialized to each of their respective fields. Step 3 was to post it. YouTube made that easy enough. Step 4 was a little harder. I had to get the word out. I sent it to my mother, my mother's friends, my mother's friends' friends, my brother and his friends, my family, my peers, and of course to the rest of the Mellon program. But that wasn't enough. That takes us to step 5. You. Esteemed individuals, if you want to understand the different viewpoints that make up this world and the unique minds that come up with them, go to Diverse Podcast Official on YouTube for a 5-episode podcast experience. Diverse explores the many angles of the neurodiversity movement, how it started, where it's headed, and how you can become a part of it. My name is Avador Auden, and I hope you'll join me in trying to keep the world interesting.